Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are breaking down what might just be OpenAI's biggest announcement in years, the brand new GPT-5.
So, the official launch event? Yeah, it was packed with demos and details, and it ran for well over an hour and a half. I mean, who has time for that?
Well, we do. We sat through the whole thing, and we've boiled it all down to everything you really need to know. Let's get right into it.
Okay, so the first big thing you've got to grasp here isn't just that it's better, it's the scale of the improvement. It's not just a step up, it's like a total transformation from a student to, well, a full-blown expert. Sam Altman himself kind of framed the evolution just like that. You know, we went from models like GPT-3, which was like a high schooler, to GPT-4o, a college student. Helpful, sure, but sometimes they get it wrong. Now we're talking about something totally different. A real expert you can call on anytime. And this quote right here, it just perfectly captures the whole vision. I mean, think about it. Giving everyone access to this insane level of expertise, a capability that, honestly, was pure science fiction just a little while ago. Okay, so how in the world does this new AI expert even work? Well, the secret sauce, it seems, is in a huge technical change to how the model actually thinks. Before this, you always had to make a choice, right? You either got a fast, standard model for quick stuff, or you had to switch to a much slower, more thoughtful reasoning model for the hard problems. It was one or the other. Well, GPT-5 just gets rid of that trade-off completely. It's smart enough to figure out on its own how much thinking it needs to do for whatever you ask. So you get the best of both worlds, speed and intelligence, automatically. You don't even have to think about it. So what does all this new power actually look like when the rubber meets the road? Let me tell you, the demos they showed were seriously impressive. Okay, this is a great example of the creative leap we're talking about. They asked both models to write a eulogy for older AIs. GPT-4o's response was fine, a bit generic, kind of like a template. But GPT-5, it came back with something that had rhythm, nuance, and real, genuine heart. It actually seemed to get the emotion behind the request. But then they moved on to something they call software on demand. And this is where my jaw kind of hit the floor. Forget just writing code snippets. They were building entire apps, complex, beautiful, interactive apps, from just a couple of sentences of plain English. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. In one demo, it spit out nearly 400 lines of code in 2 minutes to create this cool, interactive physics lesson. This ability to create useful tools just like that could make learning really hard subjects so much easier for everyone. All right, so all that wow factor from the demos, it's not just smoke and mirrors. It's all backed by some major, and I mean major, improvements in performance, reliability, and safety. And they brought the receipts to prove it.
Let's look at coding, for instance. There's this benchmark, SWEBench, that tests how well an AI can solve real-world software problems. And as you can see, GPT-5 shows a really significant jump over what was already a very good model.
But this next one, this is maybe the biggest deal of all. There's a benchmark that tests how well an AI can use other digital tools to get a job done. The previous best score was 49%. GPT-5 scored 97%. That is a massive leap. We're talking about going from a coin flip chance of success to practically flawless. This is huge for the future of AI agents. They've also totally rethought safety. Before, it was kind of a black and white system. The model would either do what you asked, or it would just say, nope, can't help you. Now, it tries to find a middle ground, to be as helpful as it possibly can, while staying inside the safety rails. That means fewer of those frustrating blunt refusals. So why does any of this tech stuff matter? Well, it all comes down to how it's going to be used in the real world. And the applications range from the incredibly personal to the globally transformative. There was this one really powerful story they shared from a woman named Carolina Millen. She talked about how, after her cancer diagnosis, the AI helped her make sense of incredibly complex medical info. It empowered her to be a real partner in her own care, at a time when the stakes couldn't have been higher. And for all the developers and businesses out there, they're not just dropping one massive, expensive model. They're releasing a whole family of them. You've got the top-of-the-line GPT-5, a faster mini version, and even a super cheap nano model. This is huge because it lets companies pick the perfect tool for the job, balancing power, speed, and cost. And big companies are already putting this to work and seeing incredible results. Amgen is using it to speed up scientific research. BBVA is cutting down financial analysis that used to take weeks into just a few hours. And Oscar Health is straight up calling it the best model for clinical reasoning they've ever seen. Okay, let's pull back for the final and maybe most mind-bending point. This launch isn't just about a new product. It signals a fundamental shift in how AI itself is going to be built from now on. One of the researchers explained it like this. The best AI models we have today are now helping to create the training data for the models of tomorrow. So AI is helping to build better AI. It's creating this feedback loop where each generation helps accelerate the next. And that leaves us with a pretty wild final thought, doesn't it? If AI is now helping to create the next generation of AI, just how fast is the future about to arrive? The pace of progress could be something we've never seen before.